My wife cheated on me and invited her lover to our daughter's birthday, but I made them regret it. Hi everyone, I've been reading other people's stories here for a while, trying to cope with infidelity in my life. To summarize, my wife and I have been married for 8 years, and we have 2 small children. This year has been tough for us. We had arguments, but I never thought it would push my wife to cheat. Lately, I noticed she was becoming distant and didn't want to talk. One evening, I decided to confront her directly. She said she was unhappy and no longer felt a spark. At first, I blamed myself, thinking I hadn't been an attentive husband. Honestly, there were some issues with that, but the next day I saw a very strange, overly affectionate message on her phone. I checked, and it turned out she had been exchanging messages with a man for a long time, confessing love and making future plans. I was angry. Anyway, taking advice from similar threads, I didn't start a scandal immediately. I read as much as I could, contacted a couple of lawyers for consultations, hired one, and tried to calm down. A few days ago, I calmly asked my wife if she was cheating. After a few minutes of silence, she confessed everything. To summarize, it had been going on for 6 months, and she claimed it was the deepest emotional connection of her life. Total nonsense. To try to save the marriage, I laid out a list of conditions: stop contact, family therapy, and so on. The last straw seemed to be that she got furious when I demanded she stop contacting her lover in front of me and even insisted on one last meeting before breaking up. I stood my ground and said, if he's that important to you, pack your things and live with him. She backed down. She even called me a controlling jerk. This morning, she showed me that she sent him a breakup message, but I suspect she'll find another way to contact him. I think there's no chance, and honestly, I don't want to be married to her anymore. I just want to be able to tell the kids later that I at least tried. We have a family therapy session tomorrow, but it seems it's time to file for divorce to save time and nerves. I'm cautious because of the kids, but this is the right step. The past few weeks have been rough, but I had time for self-reflection. My wife and I did attend a consultation after one conversation, and I must say our therapist was excellent. She listened to both of us without blaming anyone and helped us understand our new reality. She also helped identify structural problems in our relationship, although that doesn't justify my wife's behavior. Personally, it was useful to hear this for future relationships so I don't repeat the same mistakes. As I said, my wife's initial reaction to my condition to stop contact with her lover was negative, and I managed to intercept a few messages between them before she completely deleted the chat history. After that, I decided to file for divorce, and a few days ago she was served. Meanwhile, I had a serious talk with my brother Phil, since we are very close. I needed to prioritize our children, not maintain the illusion of a family, because I could see my wife just wanted to pretend nothing happened. Naturally, my wife was furious, her fantasy shattered, but our therapist explained my perspective and why it was necessary. She began to realize the consequences of her actions and how much she stood to lose. I'm trying to process the upcoming changes in my life. Since I filed, my wife has been shocked, but recently she's very emotional. Honestly, I think she believed I could never leave her. I keep my distance, but I see clear changes, even positive ones. We talk more now, mostly politely, and focused on the children. I made it clear that she left a huge wound in me, and now she has to do the main work to heal it, giving me time and space. If I ever forgive her, I'll say again her actions were selfish, but I keep in mind that we still need to raise the children together. I want to thank everyone for the comments and advice. I'm proud I found the strength not to drown in self-pity, anger, or sorrow, but to take the right steps and maintain dignity. Now I look to the future with optimism. I don't know what I'll do next, but my feelings keep changing, and I'm starting to feel inner peace. Thank you again. Short update, my wife has received the divorce papers, so I'm now working closely with my lawyer. Has anyone here ever used their spouse's foolishness to get more favorable divorce terms, and how did it work out for you? My soon-to-be ex-wife seems foggy-headed and continues to contact her lover in some way, and I haven't touched it, which is actually a good distraction. Any unexpected agreements you've managed to negotiate? Any advice would be helpful on how to navigate this stage and keep her off balance. Hello again. I've written several posts about my story. Short version, my wife cheated, I caught her, she gave the standard "I love you, but I'm not in love with you" line and claimed the lover was the greatest emotional connection of her life. Complete gaslighting and outrage, the full scenario. I filed for divorce, and weeks have passed since she was served. We still live together for now, as I want to maximize time with the kids. I live in a separate room, which helps maintain distance. I use the gray rock method with my soon-to-be ex, staying dull, neutral, and unemotional to prevent manipulation. I try not to engage in her conversations unless necessary, especially around the kids. The kids are small but sensitive, so I make sure to stay alert in the evenings. I go out, meet friends, train, etc. Any tips on better handling this situation? It's a delicate balance. I want as much time as possible with the children, so I tolerate family dinners and other necessary interactions. I wanted to share stories about dealing with situations when in-laws, friends, or others try to make you look bad. I first told some of her relatives and my own family and friends after filing, but didn't spread it widely. Still, I feel the coldness from her family and some acquaintances. Months later, after the divorce, things are calmer. I now have my own place, a fresh start, and lessons learned. Don't play choose me, hire an experienced family lawyer, rely on friends, exercise for mental health, go to therapy, and remember that the cheater is solely responsible for their actions. Regarding the lover, he was invited to my daughter's birthday. I told my ex it was disgusting, but she didn't respond. The party included colleagues and friends aware of her cheating, and it was at my old house. I felt like it was a setup. I decided to attend briefly, dress nicely, showing off my new haircut and body, but didn't stay for the party. My ex was shocked and almost begged me to stay in a soft voice. I declined politely and left with my head held high. Even the guests understood my absence, and the mission was accomplished. The lover barely interacted with anyone and was uncomfortable. My life is now moving forward. I focus on my children, personal growth, fitness, and my new home. My ex and her lover are no longer my concern. The kids are adapting well, and I continue to keep distance, interacting with my ex only about the children. Half a year after the divorce, my life is calmer. I live in my own home, children are happy, and I continue building positive memories. I've gained independence, peace of mind, and the opportunity to start fresh. Thanks again to everyone who offered support, advice, and encouragement. Your guidance helped me get through one of the hardest times in my life. Thank you for listening to this story all the way through. Check out our previous videos, which you can see here. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Good luck!